Camping trips are meant to be fun and relaxing, but what happens when things take a dark turn? From eerie sounds to paranormal activity, these moments will make you think twice about venturing into the wild. Here are some of the most disturbing camping encounters ever caught on camera. This is Jerbear's story. He's a true adventurer who loves a challenge and enjoys camping in places others avoid. Haunted forests, Bigfoot sightings, or cryptid hotspots. These were his favorite spots. Every trip brought excitement and adventure, but this time felt different. Along with his usual thrill, Jer also felt a sense of fear. He set up camp for now and felt content, unaware of what the night would bring.
So, this is what we're going to be working with tonight. That's it. Bare bones, baby. Bare bones. I do have that reflector under there. So in part one, we got our campsite all together. We got our fire going. We got our tent pitched. It is becoming much cooler now. Now, right now, it's currently about 40 degrees out. 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, I think it's going to be like 26, 27 or something like that. Much better than the 9 degrees it was the last time we was camping with a real feel of -10. That was freezing. And I know you're probably thinking, like, how are you going to stay warm then, Bear? That's still pretty freaking cold. This is all we're using. Rechargeable hand warmers.
Night fell quickly, and Jer decided it was time to build a fire. The temperature was dropping, and he needed to stay warm. Everything still seemed completely normal, just like every other adventure he'd had.
Alright guys, so it is getting colder out now. I say now's a good time. It's probably around 10 o'clock or so. So now would be a good time to fire up those rechargeable hand warmers. I'm really curious to see if they'll last all night. When I wake up in the morning, are they still warm? If they are, I'd give them a double thumbs up.
But this would soon change. As Jer settled into his tent to sleep, the night was about to take a turn he never expected.
Videos, but in those, I've done some Bigfoot knocking. I've left them an offering of bananas, apples, did some woots. I did a Bigfoot call for the first time. I think it was pretty. Branch just fall there? Did you guys hear that? It's like right outside the tent.
The noise Jer heard wouldn't let him rest, so he left the tent and walked around, telling himself it was just the forest coming alive at night, and maybe some nocturnal animals nearby. But with each passing second, stranger and stranger things began to happen.
Something seemed off. What the heck was that? That sucker came flying in. That just fall from up there? That's what I was telling you guys about the widowmakers when you're pitching your tent. Like that was, I don't know what that was, but imagine if that was a monster limb now. What is that noise coming from the lake?
Jer told himself it was time to sleep. Everything seemed fine, just like his other camping trips. But a strange noise woke him up. Soon, Jer realized he might not be as alone as he thought, or as he wanted to believe.
Sorry guys, I think I'm going to try to get a little bit of sleep. And if I wake back up, I'll check back in. If I don't wake back up, I'll see you in the morning. I just heard I don't know if I was even all the way asleep or what, but there was a huge crash outside. Do you hear that?
Terrified, Jer turned off his lamp to listen more closely to the sounds outside his tent. What he heard made his fear even worse, and he didn't like what he was starting to understand at all.
Stop turning my light down. There's more than one. More than one. Crap, wrong way. is standing right outside of the tent. It walked right up to the tent. Do you hear it? There it is again. What the heck is that?
But things got only worse. Jer didn't know if it was one thing or more, but he was sure he heard footsteps and breathing. Something was standing right outside his tent. It wasn't friendly, and it was becoming more aggressive, making it clear it didn't want him there.
It's throwing stuff at the tent. I'm armed. No. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have a freaking heart attack. Man, whatever that is, I don't know what. I almost feel like it could be people messing with me. I just heard it breathing. Oh!
As soon as the noise stopped, Jer made a quick decision. He wasn't going to pack anything. He just needed to get out of there while he still could.
My heart's still about to beat out of my chest, and I'm gonna take this opportunity and leave right now before whatever that was. Sounded like there was two of them. There's people, creatures, whatever that was. I am leaving before they come back. I do not feel safe. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not. Yeah, right now I hear nothing. I'm getting out of here.
But that wasn't the last time Jer saw the place that had scared him so badly. The next day, he went back to get his things. What he found there made his blood run cold.
Man, I am so glad we left. Man, I'm so glad we left, guys. Look at that. Look at that. Frickin' cinder block. Someone destroyed the frickin' tent. I wonder if they thought I was laying in there when they threw that block on it. Man, that would have messed me up. Man, it looks like somebody was trying to hurt me.
Not only was his tent destroyed, but it was clear that whoever did it wanted to hurt him. To this day, Jer still doesn't know who or what was outside his tent that night. Was it Bigfoot, something paranormal, or a person with dangerous intentions? Whatever it was, Jer is just thankful he made it out of the forest alive. However, Jer wasn't the only one who had a terrifying camping experience. William decided to camp in Ballyboley Forest in Northern Ireland. He thought the forest's dark reputation would add to the adventure. Ballyboley Forest is known for its history of ancient rituals and haunting stories. Rumors of ghosts, strange sounds, and unexplained events have surrounded the area for years.
It's not ideal, but I'm in a dome tent, so I can really throw it anywhere. I think I'll throw my tent just here. We are a lot further back off the road, so we can't be seen as easy, or we can still hear the car noise with a bit of a pain, but I think it's the only option we've got. That's camp set up. Let's give you a look around. So we'll start on the outside. This is going to be the cooking area. Keeping it simple tonight. Just got some pasta and tuna. And this same old MRE I've been carrying around now for the past year. I have brought a wood burning stove, but I'll probably just use the gas for handiness.
But that didn't stop William from setting up camp. Once everything was ready, he started preparing dinner as the night slowly began to fall.
Wee drop of commish? Why not? I think I give it a strong roll too. Get a bit of fruity flavour. Delicious. Good old tuna. Best of gear. So as you've seen, one of those packet pasta things. We drop a commissioner, a wee drop of strongbow, dark fruits of course, and of course the magic protein ingredient.
The dinner he ate was the last peaceful moment of the night. Just moments after William climbed into his tent, strange noises started coming from around him.
Cheers, folks.
William knew he wouldn't be able to sleep without finding out what was next to his tent. Gathering his courage, he decided to step outside, armed only with a flashlight and his camera.
So I was going that side. I did see chemtrails earlier on. What's the biggest game you get over here? We don't get big game. Well, I think that's a nighttime stroll head in the head, definitely. Freak that.
Thinking he was just being paranoid, William went back into his tent, but as soon as he got inside, the strange noises started again, and this time, they sounded much more aggressive.
We're pissed. Right, I'm gonna turn these off for a minute or two. The f***? Did you hear that? Did you f***? Hear that? My heart's going off. Who's out there?
Whatever was outside seemed to be messing with William's nerves. Once again, he gathered his courage and stepped outside to look around. To his relief, just like before, he saw nothing that could explain the strange sounds. Still, nothing could calm William enough to sleep. Even though the noises had stopped, he felt a deep anxiety and discomfort he had never felt before. Unable to shake the feeling, he quickly packed his things, even though it was still dark, and decided to leave the camp.
Let's get this cunt pulled down and get the hell out of here. Once again, folks, that is us packed up. And I'll be glad to be out of here. But first things first, we need to do the whole ritual thing, don't we? Any unclean spirits, you are not allowed to attach to me. You have to stay here. You cannot come home with me. It's not your place. You must stay here. I think that's good, isn't it? Let's get out of here.
That night, William learned that the stories about Ballybully Forest might not just be legends. Maybe there really is something paranormal lurking in the forest at night, something that doesn't welcome humans. Whatever it was, I hope William learned one thing: haunted places are better left off the camping wish list. Among the brave, or maybe crazy people, depending on who you ask, was a man who decided to camp in the middle of the forest. Even though he could hear the sounds of a pack of coyotes hunting in the distance, he still chose to make a fire to warm himself before taking a walk through the forest that night. As if walking on a normal trail through the forest in total darkness wasn't scary enough, this man decided to leave the trail and follow paths that no human had likely ever walked before. This would soon turn out to be his biggest mistake. After wandering for half an hour through the deepest parts of the forest, the man came to an area that looked completely different. Huge trees had been knocked to the ground, branches were scattered everywhere. For most people, this would be enough of a warning to turn back and head for the safety of their tent, but not for this man.
Holy crap. I mean, look at this. Ginormous tree. Just falling down. This place is a mess.
However, his little night walk quickly turned creepy when he started hearing strange noises, and it didn't stop there. It felt like one of the sounds was speaking directly to him.
Imagine just being lost out here. It feels like this would never end. Oh, fuck. Oh, hi. What the hell? I need to get out of here. Oh, boy.
Only after hearing a voice say, "I see you," did the man realize he needed to leave quickly and get back to his camp. Honestly, he was very lucky that whatever was out there allowed him to find his way back to his fire at all.
Well, now that I'm back,
After that night, the man was left with more questions than answers. He wondered if he really heard what he thought he heard, or if something not from our world was warning him to leave. At one point, he thought it might have been another camper, but he had never seen or heard anyone else in this forest before, even though he came here often. What do you think? Was it just his imagination, or was something truly out there? After hearing strange noises near his tent during the night, the camper decided to set up a trail camera at his campsite to see if anything would return. 7 days later, when he came back to retrieve the camera, he wasn't prepared for what he was about to see, or, more accurately, hear. Creepy screaming sounds echoed from somewhere in the forest. He thought it was strange to hear such noises during the day, since predators usually hunt at night. But since this was a remote part of the forest, maybe things work differently here, far away from people. As he kept watching the video, the sounds got even worse. Could this be proof that Bigfoot exists? I don't know what else could make such sounds in the forest. Maybe it's better if we never find out the answer to some things. Just think about what might happen in this forest at night if things like this happen during the day. I hope this camper never goes back, because it's clear that no one is welcome there. This experienced camper decided to spend another night at a popular camping spot. This time, he chose not to sleep in a tent, but to set up his camp a little differently. What he didn't know was that so many strange things would happen during his stay that he'd be forced to leave earlier than planned. As soon as he got comfortable in his hammock to rest after setting up camp, strange sounds of breaking branches started coming from the forest.
See what I mean?
At first, he didn't think anything strange was happening. After all, he was in the forest, and it could have been any animal. However, as the night went on, he started to feel uneasy. It didn't seem like an ordinary animal or even other campers. As he got ready to sleep, he began to suspect it might be something else, maybe even a cryptid.
Right, it's not exactly late, but I am very tired, and laying in a hammock does not help it. It's just too comfortable. There's a huge amount of noises around here. I've picked a chestnut tree wood, so there are chestnuts crashing around constantly. Sounds like Bigfoot's throwing rocks at the hammock. I've had a couple of near misses and a couple of hits, but yeah, going for a fun night. See you in the morning.
However, at 3 a.m., the camper was woken up by a noise he had never heard before. For the first time in his life, he decided to pack up everything and leave the camp as quickly as possible. Even though he remembered what happened, he couldn't explain who or what was behind it.
I'll be honest, this is the first time I've ever done this. I'm actually sitting back in my car now. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. It was forecast to be dry all night long, and 3 o'clock it just started hammering it down with rain. That's not the issue. I sort of fell asleep to the sound of chestnuts crashing through the trees and hitting the deck. And it's the same sound every time. Sort of crunch, 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 thump. After the rain started, I could just hear, and I know these are deer, muntjac, badgers, squirrels, whatever, but some crashing around that got nearer and nearer and nearer to my hammock. And every time I moved or got out to check, it stopped but didn't run away. So I'd expect if there was a deer or something, I'd hear it run off. But the weirdest thing was, the rain started to die down. So it was just a tiny pitter-patter. And suddenly by my hammock, a massive, massive thud hits the ground and bounces. And I jumped up, unzipped it, put my torch on, and there's a rock on the floor that wasn't there when I went to bed.
At first, he thought it might just be some other campers causing trouble or messing around. But when a large rock was thrown right next to his hammock, he knew it couldn't have been a person. The rock was too big and heavy for any human to throw. Convinced that he might have been the target of Bigfoot, the camper made the smart choice to leave the forest when he no longer felt safe. Who knows what could have happened if he had stayed all night, right? After a hard time, this female camper decided to spend 48 hours alone in the forest to clear her mind. What she didn't know, though, was that she had entered the Screaming Woods, one of the most haunted forests in the United Kingdom. The forest got its name from the unexplained screams and sobbing sounds that visitors often report, especially at night. After setting up her camp and lighting a fire to cook dinner, it didn't take long for her to start feeling uneasy. The eerie sounds around her made her think there might be some truth to the forest's dark reputation.
I don't know if you can see, a Cadbury's Pot of Joy. Yogurt, basically, chocolate yogurt. There is a lot of noises in these woods. Where's my spoon? It's getting cold. Oh, Get that fire going, I think. Now the rain, I think the rain stopped, or it stopped enough for a fire anyway. Sounds like kids screaming.
As the night got darker, the quiet screams she heard before started to change. They became louder and stranger, like they were coming closer to her.
Comfy, thank God, so I should sleep well, I would think. Where's my big beam? What was that noise?
The woman, who was so happy to be in the forest, didn't feel good anymore. She started to feel scared, and paranoia made everything worse.
I don't like it, I'm going to be honest. It's not deer, like I know what deer sound like. I've spent so much time with deer.
Around 2 in the morning, the woman woke up to strange sounds that she was sure were footsteps. She didn't want to turn on her lamp, so she just lay still and listened. It sounded like someone or something had stopped right next to her hammock. It was creepy, but this was only the beginning.
That. I don't want to turn the light on because I'm pretty convinced there's been a person or persons. What the fuck? I've never wanted the morning to come as much as I do right now.
No matter how hard she tried, the woman couldn't sleep. She stayed awake all night, her eyes wide open. She kept telling herself it was just nocturnal animals, but it didn't help. The footsteps she heard kept getting louder and closer. However, the strange sounds and screams weren't the only unsettling things in this forest. What the woman found near her camp made the whole situation even more terrifying.
There's camp way over there, and as I came around the corner when I was walking about last night, tell me that that doesn't look like a child's face or two children. So as I came round, I had my head torch on, and I walked like that, and literally just jumped out of me. Scary shit.
After leaving the camp, the woman learned that the forest had a dark history. People talked about strange sounds, ghosts, and mysterious disappearances. Some say the ghosts are villagers who got lost in the forest and never found their way out. Their spirits are said to wander the trees, still searching for a way home. Could this explain the footsteps and screams the woman heard that night? It seems too strange to be just a coincidence. Would you dare to camp alone in the woods? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more mysterious encounters and chilling discoveries. See you in the next video.